All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a lot of what we're doing in our classes. We got a couple different classes on our website, some locally, some online. But it's basically going over the objective checklist. So for those that really want to learn how to objectively type personality, it's a lot easier than you think. It's also takes a lot more practice than you think. But let's take a look. In this video, I'll show you some pretty basic rundown of how to do it. All right, say you're trying to type, let's just start easy, Oprah Winfrey, right? Even the internet can guess that one right as ENFJ. You have to get to the videos to where you're really watching videos of her. So you can't be her presentation. So you can't be her in a commercial or a speech or edited, but you really are looking for the interviews. You're looking for her really sharing her deep, dark problems and secrets and all that stuff, and it can't be highly edited. So you got to end up sitting through a lot of videos to really try and answer these questions. So here's the first question, ready? You're asking, is this person an observer or a decider? That's it. So that's just a binary question, and it's chopping the board. Are they an observer? It's an EP or an IJ, or a decider, an IP or an EJ. The way you do it is like if you're working with just the 16 types, or say you're starting smaller where you're just starting with the 4 temperaments, you're now cutting the board in half. So you're going from 4 options down to 2 options. And that's how we do it. When we get all the way up to 16 types, 32, 64, 128, all the way to 512, all we're doing is cutting the board in half. So get this, I'm never actually ever typing anyone. I'm always just trying to take this large board and cut it in half, and then cut it in half again. So it's almost through a process of elimination of, like, say I'm doing the full 512 spectrum. I'm like, well, I don't know what type this person is, but I know they're not these 511 other types. They must be this one right here. And then voila, when I check it with my partner in the other room, it's a really great feeling to see I got the same exact number as my partner did in the other room. How? Why? How do we do that? Because here's our secret, following the same checklist. And on the checklist, the terms are all defined the same. So the first term, is this person an observer or a decider? You get into defining those terms as we've done in the previous classes, and you go, okay, this person is not talking about an imbalance of observations. The IJ and the EP is pretty calm with their identity in the tribe. Then they're freaking out about information. Oh, there's all this chaos, and they try to control us, and there's chaos, and they try to control us, and this is what their spins and their spikes are about. The deciders, they're very calm about observations, in contrast compared to the other two, right? So control and chaos, they don't freak out so much compared to who am I in the tribe? Who am I in the tribe? And so you start to see these spikes. So right away you can see Oprah, the way that she lives her life is this imbalance of herself and the tribe. So I would mark down on the checklist, this is my opinion, I would mark down this person is a decider. So now I have her narrowed down to she is either a IP or an EJ. So you're basically asking, is this person a little bit more introverted or extroverted? Though you can't quite take that literally because you'll get very extroverted IPs and very introverted EJs, so you got to watch for that, right? Now that I know that she is a decider, I'm now asking, is this self above tribe or tribe above self? And so again, the terms are very well defined, and me and my partner have the exact same understanding and interpretation of what those terms mean, and that's really the key. So if you're kind of off on your understanding of these terms and your partner's kind of off, then when you go to try to type the same person, you're going to be off. You can see that as she tells her story, coming up as a kid, that it's this constant struggle of who am I, this problem, society, and it's this picture of this little girl trying to fight and find her way through life and her spot in the tribe. Also defined as a tribe person, she's giving a lot of her time and energy to the tribe and not herself. And this is starting from a very young age. So very clearly over time, you can see this person is a tribe-oriented person and not a self-oriented person in the sense that they put the tribe first and then work on their identity later. And as a person gets older, because Oprah, you can watch her get older, if you're starting in the videos back in the 80s, you can see that as she's gotten older, what's happened? Well, like any person that's gotten older and more developed, she starts to develop more of the confidence of herself. When she describes her truth, her value, this is like coming from the state of, this has been hell for me to figure out who I am, what's true, what I stand for, and where I'm going to be a selfish IP and shove back on everybody else. That's been her life's journey. That isn't something that's obviously easy to her. So you can see that the self is the demon, though it's a well-developed demon, and the tribe is the savior. It comes easy. And then from there, you go to the next step. You go, okay, great. So now I know that she's tribe above self. And now we got to figure out, is this control or gather? Is she controlling information or gathering information? Is she focusing on the same information or is she taking in new information? Oh, well, she has a talk show where she's taking in new information all the time. Like, People set up things in their life where they kind of play like a kid puppet show with their demons. So the INTJ is like a really good skateboarder on a video game. The IP has lots of friends online. We'll set up these little fake puppet shows where I can beat my demons on a fake scale. So what kind of gathering new information does she do? Oh, I'm in the book club. Again, this is signs of a person going, look what I can do with my demon. I can read, I can gather, I can take in lots of information from people. I'm a gatherer. It's this kind of peacocking fronting of, gathering is hard for me. It doesn't come natural, so I kind of awkwardly, weirdly play the gathering game. What is unconsciously easy for Oprah, what she does without even knowing it, is organize, is control, is have the same fucking show for 25 years, the same routine, the same system, the same procedures, the same day of the week, the same things she talks about. She takes all this new information and distills it down to the same points. So I would put on my checklist like, I'm kind of seeing savior, control here, and demon gather. And this would be my interpretation and what I would write down. So from there, now the magic starts to happen. You now have eliminated down to what her savior functions are. Because if you know that she is a decider, so we're going to write a DE for that. Because I don't know if that's TE or FE. So I'm just going to say DE, decider extroverted, right? And you could put TE or FE if it makes it easier. That's what I used to do at first. And then I know that she's OI, observer introverted. So it'd be either NI or SI. I don't know which one technically yet. So I'll just write OI, observer introverted. And so I know that that's OI and DE. Now is it the OI first? So is she an IJ or is she an EJ? Well, we've already established on the first question that her main life is spinning around decider stuff, tribe stuff first. So I know the DE goes first. So I know this person is a DE/OI. So now I've eliminated down that this person is some kind of an EJ. And so now what do I do? How do I know for sure what kind of an EJ this is? Well, now you just go to the next step. Just two more here. We're almost done. Now you play the letter game. All right, so the D, the decider, we know it's extroverted, and the deciders are either F or T. So is the decider extroverted about feeling, values, spectrum, right? You're already laughing because you already know. Or is she beating people over the head with reasons? Is this a Tony Robbins reason machine? No, this is a value. This is what other people like. This is what I like. This is what the culture likes. This is a FE related conversation. So I know that she's F over T, and then I know that that F is extroverted. So now I can fill that one in. It's like you're playing the Wheel of Fortune game where you're just flipping the cards over and starting to see the message little by little. So now I know that DE is an FE, and I know that FE is first. And then when it comes to organizing, is she organizing the facts, sensory, or is she organizing the abstract? And then just moving along kind of quickly here, as you get to see what she's really organizing, though she's very good with the sensory because she has a third, it's really all about organizing the patterns, the concepts, the abstract. Her messages are usually very vague, very open, very something that can appeal to everyone. That's just another interesting thing of why she does appeal to everyone, because she's FN, so it's the opposite of ST. Who's ST? Think of like an ISTJ. Very factual, very literal, no wiggle room. If you don't agree with this, you're wrong. So it's a lot harder for people to get on board with ST because they can't project, they can't interpret, they can't have their perspective. You talk NF talk, you're talking hippie talk. So everybody can come from their own different worldviews and kind of fill in their own sensory meanings. You know what I mean? So anyways, just like that, you go from number 1, observer decider, she's a decider. Number 2, self or tribe, she's tribe. Number 3, controller gather, she's control. Okay, great. Now I got DE over OI. Is that feeling or thinking? It's feeling extroverted, FE. And then is that sensing or intuition? It's NI. I know, you might have to watch it a couple times to get it. And then we can talk more about this later, and we get into this in our videos on our class and all that stuff. But then there's cross-checks. You're not done. You ain't done, homie. You don't know if you just biasly thought that. Maybe you like Oprah or watched Oprah or want her to be an FJ because everybody else on the internet says she's an FJ, right? God damn. So you now have to go through and run all the cross-checks. Is that really a savior? Is that really a demon? If I'm seeing S here, then I should see N here on the opposite. It's just the cross lists go on forever, and we can go into that later. But anyways, that's the basic idea. It's all setting up these binary coins. You start with a large data set, whether you're typing 16, from a 16 types or 512, and your only job is to continue to cut the board in half until you've eliminated all other options. So just sharing this to let you know, this is something you can do. I've talked to a lot of people out there. They know type really, really good. A lot of people know type better than I do. If you put in the time to play the scientific game, play the checklist game, play the work with a partner game, you'd be fucking surprised how well you could actually be objectively typing in a few months.